the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Me mamo akwaba eba ye Nsem-Pii TV so. Menemo eka say Sh0ck ekopemu e former finance minister Ken Ofori Atta na kachia enije emroso e wo hoye pa ne hwe eyi a eda screen so say Interpol drops red notice against Ken Ofori Atta a former finance minister. Nsem-Pii for Nsem-Pii ahefo beka earlier this year ana OSP kisi ejaben press conference edi nsem na ebetu dwa na press conference odi betu dwa ne de na nsem no mebre na efa former finance minister Ken Ofori Atta ho ama OSP eka ema Ghana for ete say wa puti ana wako ama Interpol aputi Ken Ofori Atta on red notice, which means you declare Ken Ofori Atta wanted ababia obi behu Ken Ofori Atta bia so oboa emayechi Ken Ofori Atta former finance minister. Na ensemwe ebetu dwan ema Ken Ofori Atta ne lawyers enso eto omuna esi form bibia ometimi ayafa ensemwe nyina ho menemo kasa dia Interpol drop red notice against Ken Ofori Atta. Na Interpol decision they drop and withdraw red notice against Ken Ofori Atta and say OSP on charge Ken Ofori Atta court. Na omonso say puti obi on red notice na nipa kono be a sentence no court and a court a sentence and a word dwane and OSP won say asumasi we oshaha na eno Interpol the red notice atom so say yemwa na yenche abranti and ababa awi and obi a you put in red notice no. Now OSP on charge Ken Ofori Atta court and I sentence Ken Ofori Atta court. Na aden intina wo waba say Interpol put a red notice on Ken Ofori Atta. Na ensemble kla too esa abuse Ken Ofori Atta no human rights. Enti abusia we any ensem afofro pina na Interpol ejina so they drop red notice against Ken Ofori Atta. Now we draw red notice against Ken Ofori Atta. Now the enjibre yente Ken Ofori Atta ne lawyer penny lawyer Frank Davis and or the same to dia online fredo efa ensem we nyina wo the enjibre na kame ho yente ensem we nyina emra say OSP nanim.
Some months back, the Office of the Special Prosecutor had formally submitted an application to Interpol requesting that Ken Ofori Atta be placed on a red notice list. This request was part of what the OSP described as efforts to ensure international cooperation in locating Mr. Ofori Atta, who was accused of alleged procurement and financial irregularities during his tenure as finance minister. Mr. Ofori Atta's legal team petitioned Interpol, insisting that the red notice submitted did not meet the criteria required for such an international alert, especially on the criteria of judicial basis. Meanwhile, the Office of the Special Prosecutor yesterday was formally charged Ken Ofori Atta and 7 others with 78 counts of corruption and corruption-related offences. I'll bring that to you shortly, but let's now engage Frank Davis, who joins us via Zoom. Frank, many thanks for joining us. The OSP has just responded to the release that came out shortly or a while ago, and it says that they refute that Ken Ofori Atta's name has been removed from Interpol's red notice list because the matter is still under contention. How do you respond to this?
Good morning. So, you viewers and listeners.
Frank, if you can speak up a bit.
I said good morning to your
good morning
and cherished viewers. And I asked that is this not sour grapes? Why is the OSP now coming to explain a fair complete? I mean, what was he doing all this while? The chronology of events he has given, he was very much aware that this matter was being contested. So when he got to the stage where Ken Ofori Atta's name was pulled down, why didn't he mount the cameras mount the cameras and go onto the microphones like he always does, to tell the country what has happened? Now that there is an embarrassment, he comes to explain what circumstances. Whatever it is, and Ofori's name has been pulled down. We are not an island unto ourselves as a country. We are guided by international rules, regulations, and official mechanisms. So you can't trigger a process and think that it is sacrosanct. When this thing started, I told you people that a lawyer's work is not how to fuse cacophony of noises on radio, television, or presses. A lawyer's work is always in the courtroom or through the mechanism of work. Okay? The Interpol is guided by its own constitution, bylaws, regulations, and if you trigger anything, they will have to investigate.
But Frank, with the release that circulated earlier, it said that once the OSP's charges were announced, Interpol immediately pulled the red notice posting from their website because the OSP had confirmed Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyer's complaints to Interpol. Is that the case? Because the OSP is saying otherwise.
It is not true. It is not true. The pulling down of his name has nothing to do with the charges he has filed. Nothing, absolutely nothing to do with it. And we should stop speculating for and pray fidelity to the truth.
But when you say the
if that was the case, why didn't you say it before? Why didn't the OSP, who is fond of presence, why didn't he release that before? And now that it is in the public domain, he comes to say what? Ken Ofori's next charge was pulled down long ago.
But Mr. Davis, would it not be fair if we say that the OSP is responding to this because of the release that was circulated earlier?
But I'm asking you a simple question. The chronology of events that the OSP has given in that notice, at least he was aware that this matter was being contested, up to the stage where Ken Ofori's name was pulled down. If we are all truthful to the fact, and we want to speak fidelity to the law, at the time that Ken Ofori's name was pulled down, why didn't he come to tell Daniel? And look, Ken Ofori's name, I issued a red notice alert for his arrest. His name has been pulled down because of A, B, and C. Now he waits for this to come into the public domain. Then he says what? If the Interpol is investigating the matter, it comes as a matter of reason that his name will be pulled down. Come on.
So Frank, as it stands now, can you confirm? So his name has been taken off the list simply because the matter is still under contention. Is that the case?
I said his name has been pulled down not because he has been charged. The OSP did not meet the legal criterion for a red alert notice to be put on Ken Ofori-Atta. So his name has been pulled down. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with whether he has filed charges or not. It is embarrassment. It is the occasion embarrassment that has forced him to file this charge. Last week or a week and a half ago, when he came and he said he was going to file charges against Ken Ofori-Atta, why didn't he tell the whole world and for that matter Ghana that the matter was being contested and maybe one way or the other his name will be pulled down? His name has been pulled down. As simple as that. It's got nothing to do with filing of charges, anything whatsoever. It is like the rigors of law. His name has been pulled down.
Well, you also said that one of the reasons you have just cited as the contradiction to the legality of this red notice is the fact that the charges had not been filed. Yesterday, the OSP informed us that formally your client has been charged. What next?
I didn't hear what you said.
I was saying that one of the reasons you have cited as the contradiction of the to the legality of this red notice was the fact that charges had not been filed in court at the time. Well, yesterday the OSP formally informed us that your client has now been charged. What next?
Well, what next is up to the OSP. It is up to the OSP. You all know, but you don't want to admit the fact that you know that Ken Ofori-Atta is out of the country because of the medical procedure. He has attended onto his doctors, is recuperating, and any time that he is notified of his charges, we shall consider our option. But Ofori-Atta is not a fugitive, as the whole world was made to believe. He's free justice. He's a fugitive for justice. I am going to use the force of the state behind you. I'll use the notice alert. I'll pull you down to Ghana, and all happens.
So essentially, you're saying that
I can't fall back. I said, because he's saying.
Frank, are you confirming that your client is still ill and that we should not expect him?
I have said to you, I think I picked my language carefully. I said to you, he has attended onto medical service and he is recuperating. Why again did I say that he was ill?
Well, you just said that he's written that he's unwell and that he has to undergo surgery. You just said that a while ago.
Public notice that he was unwell. He has attended onto a medical procedure. He is recuperating. That is what I said.
So essentially he's still unwell.
He is recuperating.
Okay. So has your client been formally informed of these charges by the OSP?
As I just told you seconds ago, that if he is formally notified, it means that he has not. We all saw it on social media. And Ofori has not been formally notified of any charges that have been prepared against him. I read it on social media the same way as you did, which is the style of the special prosecutor. I would have thought that having filed the charges, he will notify the accused persons before running it into town. And that is his style. So we live into his style. When Ofori, Atta, Nanaya, Kunuku has not been notified of any formal charges against him.
Oh, interesting. But the OSP says that your client will be tried in absentia regardless.
Well, please, I am not going to involve myself in the season of lawyers who are talking about trial in absentia. I am not interested in it. Charges have been prepared against Ken Ofori. The OSP should know how to serve or formally notify Ken Ofori of his charges because he is not in the country. When that is done, we shall consider the next option. I am not interested in this trial in absentia business because those who are flagging it don't understand what they're saying. And I will not aid them with any education.
Once you're saying that your client has not been formally noticed, does this mean that his legal team is not going to enter any appearance?
You don't enter appearance in criminal matters, please. Nobody enters appearance in criminal matters. So, but appearance in criminal matter. It's not a civil matter. It's a criminal matter.
Right, but then
accused person will be notified and accused person will be in court.
Well, a lot of people have also speculated about your client's willingness to cooperate with the legal process.
Speculated about what?
I'm sure you've seen Frank.
You were all here. You were all in this country when Ken Ofori was requested for a video conferencing interview. Or you are not here. You interviewed me on that. Which is legally permissible. The OSP said he was going to have none of that. Because he wanted a one-on-one engagement with Ofori, whether he wanted to dance with him, whether he wanted to eat with him, or whether he wanted to wine with him, nobody knew. He said he willingly insisted on an in-person interview, as if the electronic engagement was not permissible. But the law, the Electronic Transmission Act, makes provision for video conference. He said he wouldn't have none of that. The Legal Mutual Assistance Act calls for collaboration via electronic conferencing. He said he would not have none of that. And he insisted on an in-person interview. So what is this business? You people always saying that Ken Ofori doesn't want to cooperate. I think it's prejudicial, and you people should stop it.
Frank, that is not coming. That comment.
Right? Should be respected, please.
Well, finally, unfortunately, we will have to.
Or a person of interest or a suspect should be respected. So you people stop this business of you cooperating with the OSP. Stop it.
Well, finally, Frank, anti-graft campaigners, one of whom is Nsem-Pii, has mentioned that your client, being that he held the position of power, must do, and I quote, the honorable thing. I'm saying that, if you would listen to me, kindly indulge me, I'm saying that anti-graft campaigners such as Nsem-Pii, who spoke on our network, indicated that your client, who has held a position of power, should do, and I quote, the honorable thing by presenting himself to answer questions. And so that is where the comments that I spoke about earlier about the seeming lack of cooperation, which is not coming from us but from the public, that is why I asked you about that.
You see, the both Senanu and other guys, I don't take delight in responding to them, because when I say something, I don't feel comfortable with what I'll hear myself say. And whatever he has said is his own opinion. I'm not going to engage him on what he said. That is his opinion. He should keep it in his head and keep running with it. But if he understands the rules of engagement and he understands the right of an accused person, he will not talk the way he's talking. But we all are human beings. When you are not confronted with a matter, you can talk the way you like. I'm not wishing anything ill for him. But the right of an accused person is always respected before the law. Okay?
Right.
So he can go ahead. He can go ahead and see whatever opinions he has. I will not engage him in a rebuttal.
Frank.
As far as I'm concerned, Colonel Koyata has not been notified. If he's notified, we will engage.
Thank you for your time this morning. Frank David is a member of former finance minister's legal team, Ken Oforiatta's legal team. But you out there have also been saying a lot about this development on our social media platforms. Nanama Akwa brings us those.
Well, Nadima, this back and forth is getting more interesting by the day. Now, King Suli says, so no one in this country can kidnap Ken in USA and bring him back to this country. We also have Nasif. If the president refuses to fire the OSP, they will not win in any criminal cases or corruption cases. Edem says, trust the OSP at your own peril. T says this OSP, I think he meant to say, is a dangerous joker. Dominic also adds, this gives credence to the reason, to the whys for Kisi Ejabing to be sacked. Peter says, I now believe the assertion that the OSP is working in the interests of Ken Oforiatta. You also have Kwesi. Most people don't know that Oforiatta has a dual citizenship, and you think they will leave their citizens to go through this without proper docket on criminal records?
Edem Senanu has stated that he is not surprised by the length of time it took the Office of the Special Prosecutor to file charges against former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta. He explained that the complexity of the allegations required extensive analysis, particularly because Mr. Oforiatta was unavailable for parts of the investigation. He spoke on News Tonight.
In how lax the claim that were brought to your attention, the ones that they needed to take their time to investigate. And when I consider that Mr. Oforiatta did not make himself available when expected in May, and it is subsequent to that they raided SML and found additional data that needed to be encoded and then analyzed. I don't find it strange that it's taking them this time to use that data to then, as it were, add up to the charges so that they are clear that they are covering everything. But I don't think there's any laxity. In our terrain, we say prevention is better than prosecution. And we also say that the rights of persons must be respected. If it were you, your mother, your father, or a sibling, you would expect that every care should be taken to make sure that they are not rushing. And so I think that this is the way to go.
Community Court has dismissed former Chief Justice Gertrude Saki-Tokonu's application seeking an interim suspension of her removal process until her substantive case is dealt with.